This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the Queenstown Lakes District Council has voted unanimously in favour of a referendum to introduce a visitor levy. A fascination with former Dunedin artist Colin McCann has led an Auckland painter to create a large-scale mural. And screams for help could be heard from the St Kevin's College campus in Oamaru yesterday, but it was only a drill. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The Queenstown Lakes District Council has voted unanimously in favour of a referendum to introduce a visitor levy. The non-binding referendum for local residents and ratepayers is to help fund what the council describes as desperately needed infrastructure.
A watershed moment for the Queenstown Lakes District. Mayor Jim Bolt has announced a local referendum to introduce a tourist tax.
We believe we have a model that can deliver this funding and ensure that visitors to our beautiful part of the world make a much needed contribution to tourism related infrastructure.
Bolt says the area is unique in having 34 international visitors for every local resident, which puts pressure on maintaining the local roads, water and wastewater. He says over the next 10 years the council will need an extra $300 to $400 million, a shortfall which he thinks the levy can top up.
As a ballpark number, we're targeting somewhere between $25 and $40 million annually in new income for council.
He stresses the levy is for the Queenstown Lakes District only, but it will be a win for the whole country.
For New Zealand Inc., if we can make sure that the Queenstown Lakes District remains as attractive as it currently is, then that's good for our total economy.
If the levy gets a thumbs up from local voters, the proposal will go to Parliament. And Bolt is hoping to be collecting money from tourists by 2021. In Queenstown, for The South Today.
3 people were arrested following a domestic disturbance involving a firearm in Dunedin last night. Police say officers were called to a Brockville address following reports of a disturbance, during which a window was broken and people were threatening the occupants of a house. It was also alleged a firearm had been pointed at the occupants during the incident. 2 men and a woman aged between 21 and 30 were arrested for a variety of offences including threatening language, willful damage and bail breaches, he said. Police say a firearm was recovered at the scene, but no charges have been laid yet. A fascination with former Dunedin artist Colin McCann has led an Auckland painter to create a large-scale mural at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery. John Reynolds' latest work is titled The Fools and references several aspects of Colin McCann's art and life.
Only a few days into creating an artwork on the big wall at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery, artist John Reynolds referencing paintings by former Dunedin artist Colin McCann, whose large landscapes are hanging in the Dunedin Public Library as well as the library at the University of Otago.
If you go onto the second floor of the library and walk past all those studious students, there's that magnificent, and it's a very smoky, smouldering oil on panel work, beautifully almost hypnotic kind of terse work.
He's hoping this work will become the culmination of a project called Missing Hours, an examination of the 28 hours an elderly and disorientated Colin McCann went missing in Sydney's Botanic Garden in 1984.
I've been working on sort of excavating 28 hours of McCann's life in 1984 when he got lost in Sydney. So this is the largest extrapolation of that contemplation of McCann's life, and I'm hoping possibly to get McCann off my back through this work.
This new work not only harks to McCann's landscape paintings, but also his fascination with illustrations of the crucifixion of Christ.
So I suppose I'm colliding several kind of McCann-esque themes with a local take and with a cinematic opportunity of the Great Wall.
The Dunedin Public Art Gallery have commissioned an assistant to give Reynolds a hand with the huge work.
So, well, the pair of us, when I flag in terms of energy, Emma's much younger and stronger and brighter and quicker. So the pair of us have made more progress than I imagined.
Paintings on the art gallery's big wall normally last 6 to 12 months until they're replaced with new works. John Reynolds' artwork The Falls is set to stay on the wall until October. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
The Waitaki District Council says a dog which bit a child in Oamaru on Friday has been euthanised. The incident happened in Lynn Street when a child was bitten on the upper thigh and required hospital treatment. A subsequent council investigation revealed the crossbred dog which attacked the child was already classed as menacing by the council after it bit another child in March last year. Several complaints have been made about the dog wandering and rushing in 2017. Screams for help could be heard from St Kevin's College campus in Oamaru yesterday. But the pupils screaming were merely acting for the benefit of a large multi-agency emergency services exercise staged in Oamaru.
Don't worry, these St Kevin's College pupils aren't actually hurt. More than 400 pupils and many emergency services personnel taking part in a multi-agency drill on the Oamaru School's grounds yesterday.
So it was a good learning and training exercise for the school and emergency services, the school for lockdown and how they would cope with the trauma going on there.
Senior Sergeant Jason McCoy says the pupils acted well and the exercise gave them an insight into what a real scenario would look like.
So there's a few learnings from it, but generally pretty good. So just about how they respond and what they were actually doing when they were responding. So the trainers will be debriefing that shortly, but certainly from what I saw it was all going very well in regard to what they should be doing.
St John Territory Manager James Stewart says the exercise was primarily an Oamaru response, with 11 staff from Oamaru being joined by 3 Dunedin staff who were trained in operational support. He says treating it as real is the key.
So that we can model what we would do in the real world on the experience we get from today. Obviously all of this is a learning environment.
Stewart says the time it took to set up a treatment and triage area is always critical, and his team performed well.
The good thing about today is we had 4 minutes from arrival at scene to the first detailed situation report, which is exceptional, and we're really happy with the team for that.
St Kevin's College Principal Paul Olsen says most of the school's 450 pupils chose to take part in the exercise, with 38 mostly drama pupils volunteering to be among the injured. In Oamaru, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, Greymouth prepares to retire 2 important pieces of its maritime history from duty, and a Dunedin man uses the latest technology to capture the city's historic architecture.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, as Garador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Oh, help! Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Green Island Medical Centre have 2 late night clinics. We are now open on a Tuesday and Thursday night until 7 p.m. with doctor and nurse appointments available. Phone us on 488 2754 to make a booking or to find out more information.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
ID Dunedin Fashion Week is celebrating 20 years and you're invited to the show. One amazing show, 2 nights, Friday 15 and Saturday 16 March at Dunedin's Regent Theatre. The show features ID International Emerging Designer Awards and a runway show from 16 of New Zealand's leading established designers. Tickets are available from Ticket Direct. Grab a group of friends and book today. For all the details, www.idfashion.co.nz.
Welcome back. 2 pieces of Greymouth's maritime history are on the way down. One of 2 coal lifting cranes is down and there's 1 more to go.
Contractors Liddles won the tender to dismantle the cranes which loaded coal for the last time in 1982, although were working sporadically until the 2000s. There are 2 of only 4 pre-container cranes left in New Zealand and the only 2 in near working condition. Contractors Liddles have started dismantling the heritage port cranes on the Greymouth Wharf as part of a long-term restoration project. They are expected to take 6 to 8 weeks to pull apart. They will be carefully assessed once they are down, although 1 crane appears to be in better condition than previously thought. A time-lapse camera is set to record the project as the cranes get broken down into 4 components. From there, the Cohen and Sheldon cranes are to be sandblasted, cleaned and painted grey, then reassembled about next to the Coal Heritage Park, initially for a static display. The Greymouth Heritage Trust plans to set up a Give a Little crowdfunding page, adding to the $500,000 project fund, much of which has come from the lottery community's funding pool. In Greymouth, for the South Today.
A Dunedin man has just completed a video using state-of-the-art technology to film buildings around the University of Otago campus. Employing both drone and hyperlapse technology, he's created a video that showcases his emerging talents as a filmmaker.
Operating a drone to film architecture, Samuel Bingham has spent a lot of his summer holiday creating a film of buildings around the University of Otago. While many people fly drones in breach of Civil Aviation Authority regulations, Bingham did everything by the book.
Basically you've got to stay 4K away from any sort of aerodrome. If you're within that 4K boundary you have to get CAA approval, which I did for this video. I hit up the CAA and just made sure that everything was all good. I also got the university's approval, which was a pretty lengthy process. I had to explain and draw out my flight pass and state any sort of procedures that were going to happen if there was an emergency or anything like that.
And while cheaper drones are unable to give the operator a view of the drone's perspective, Bingham's one lets him see the aerial view through his cell phone.
So I have the DJI Phantom 4 Pro, so that allows me to connect up to my phone and I can view everything through my phone. Sometimes the connection can get a bit dusty, so it'll skits out and I freak out sometimes, but 99% of the time I can see what the drone is seeing.
He says drones are suited to creating artistic videos of architecture, as well as having practical applications.
Like after an earthquake, for example, using a drone to inspect the building, places where you'd usually have to get scaffolding or a scissor lift or some sort of machinery to get someone up there to visualise what's wrong, you can just use a drone now.
Bingham's video also uses a technique called hyperlapse, a modern way of creating a tracking shot.
The easiest way to explain it is it's a moving time lapse. So I've taken a still image every 30 centimetres, kept my same focus point, and then taken another step, done it all again. And I've done that for, yeah, obviously all those walking shots through the university.
Bingham says he plans to continue making videos that use modern filming technologies. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, school children and their parents leave cars parked at home and get active in Dunedin. And we have tomorrow's weather for you, so stay with us.
Dunedin Beds R Us are having a stock clearance sale during the month of February, up to 50% off New Zealand made sleepyhead beds. Come see Ricky and the team at 505 Princess Street next to Armstrong Prestige. Plenty of parking.
Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
Green Island Medical Centre have 2 late night clinics. We are now open on a Tuesday and Thursday night until 7 p.m. with doctor and nurse appointments available. Phone us on 488 2754 to make a booking or to find out more information.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
ID Dunedin Fashion Week is celebrating 20 years and you're invited to the show. One amazing show, 2 nights, Friday 15 and Saturday 16 March at Dunedin's Regent Theatre. The show features ID International Emerging Designer Awards and a runway show from 16 of New Zealand's leading established designers. Tickets are available from Ticket Direct. Grab a group of friends and book today. All the details, www.idfashion.co.nz.
Thanks for staying with us. Don't be surprised if you see more children walking or riding to school this week, as a regular exercise scheme sees scores of pupils and parents choosing to not travel by car.
Putting their best feet forward. Many schools are taking part in Walk and Wheels to School Week across the southern region. The Sport Otago initiative typically sees more than 10,000 pupils from 54 schools around Otago choosing to pedal or walk to school. Sport Otago says the regular event is designed to promote active transport for school children. Pupils of Opoho School took care crossing the roads, along with the Walk and Wheel mascot Strider, who's been visiting schools throughout the week. Many schools have organised walking buses to transport their children, as well as creating scooter and cycle obstacle courses for pupils to use over lunchtime. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The Queenstown Lakes District Council has voted unanimously in favour of a referendum to introduce a visitor levy which would be used for infrastructure. A fascination with former Dunedin artist Colin McCann has led an Auckland painter to create a large-scale mural in the Dunedin Public Art Gallery. And screams for help could be heard from the St Kevin's College campus in Oamaru yesterday, but it was only an exercise to keep emergency services ready. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry Stewart. What have you got for us tomorrow?
Marissa, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
We've had a busy news day today, actually, lots of things happening. Queenstown residents will have their say in a referendum on whether they want a tourism levy. This was announced by Queenstown Lakes District Mayor Jim Bolt today. The levy could add $40 million to the council's coffers each year, so clearly there's an incentive there to help with infrastructure.
That's a decent amount of money.
Yes, well, it could be higher than that. Who knows?
Yeah.
And of course, fire that raged through the Maniatoto last night and threatened homes has been brought under control. We understand. We have a reporter and a photographer on the scene, keeping an eye on that one. 660 fans, another big concert at the stadium. The Eagles last week, this week 660. So lots of things happening, but they've been warned. A heavy police presence will be watching for those who overindulge ahead of the band's Dunedin concert
I'm
this
sure
weekend.
they'll be well behaved.
They'll be exceptionally well behaved, I'm sure, and it will be a good concert as well. Education Minister Chris Hipkins said in Parliament today he listened to what the Otago Polytech had to say about the proposed changes at the meeting in Dunedin earlier this week, and he said that the Otago Polytech made a very good case. So encouraging signs from the Education Minister. Sport, we've got heaps of sport, Highlanders previews, and of course cricket test match, second test match coming up. So lots of action there in the paper tomorrow.
Fantastic. So there's something for everyone.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Molnap.
Looking at the situation, fine weather tomorrow with light winds, but westerlies picking up again on Saturday with increasing cloud and some late showers, becoming fine again on Sunday. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect a cloudy day with 22-degree highs. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim are set for cloudy skies, rain and a top temperature of 18 degrees, so you might need your umbrellas. In Canterbury, you can also expect a wet day with 15 degrees for Kaikoura, 17 and a few clouds for Christchurch, while Ashburton is due for clouds and a high of 16 degrees. In the southern towns, expect light westerlies and fine weather. The Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all looking at highs of 15 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, light winds and fine weather are on the cards. Wanaka and Queenstown aim for 19, which is great for the Wanaka show. Alexandra heads for 20, while Te Anau should expect clear, mostly blue skies and a high of 15 degrees. to the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect afternoon northeasterlies. Some cloud with Timaru heading for 16 and 15 for Oamaru. Twizel and Amarama are due for light winds with fine clear skies and highs of 19 degrees. So a nice bit of weather for you guys. In Dunedin, becoming fine overnight with southwesterlies with an overnight low of 10. It's going to be cooler tomorrow with sunny periods and some cloud. Southwesterlies will die out, northeast winds will develop. A high of 14 degrees and an overnight low of 6. Autumn's on its way. Fine and sunny with high cloud increasing on Saturday and moderate northerlies. Watch out for some rain later at night with a cool southwest change. Looking at a high of 18 and a low of 10 degrees. And Invercargill becoming fine tonight with an overnight low of 9 degrees. Sunny periods and some cloud tomorrow with moderate cool westerlies, aiming for a high of 14 and a low of 8. Cloud increasing on Saturday and westerlies freshening. Expect some rain late in the day with a cool southwesterly change, looking at a high of 16 degrees and a low of 9. That's all for our news this Thursday. For the latest news from the Southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.